Whether you think you can or can't, just know you're right. Arrange your mindset and stand at different heights. Put all your energy on things you know are right. Yeah, we move the needle.
All right, everybody, welcome to Move the Needle. I'm your host, Randall Rutledge, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about confidence and how to build confidence. And I want to start out by saying the only reason I feel, comfortable covering this topic is because it's something that I struggle with personally, and it's something that I have to work on, almost every single day is my confidence to be able to do what I do, to do a podcast, to be in sales, to be in leadership, and be a naturally, shy, introverted person. I have to find ways to build my confidence and manufacture that confidence. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the different things that I use to help build my confidence. And when I think about confidence, the first thing that comes to mind is really doing what you say you're going to do, right? And this goes across all aspects of life. Just anything that comes out of my mouth, anything that I say, I need to make sure that I follow through on that. It's really important to always tell the truth. It is most important to tell the truth to yourself. And what I mean by that is when you're walking around, you're saying things like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow," and then you wake up, you click snooze, you don't go to the gym. That's actually going to hit your self-confidence, and maybe not on a conscious level, but more on a subconscious level. And I like to think about my brain or body, if you will, kind of like there's two people, right? And that's that conscious mind and that subconscious mind. And they don't really get to talk to each other in clear communication, but the subconscious mind does hear the things that I say. It does see the things that I do. It's aware of the decisions that I make. And essentially what the subconscious mind is going to try to do is it's going to try to justify things. It's going to try to make things whole. The subconscious mind is essentially going to try to go to work to justify your words and your actions, and it's going to constantly look for those things in your life to make that congruent. And anytime I'm saying one thing and I'm doing another thing, I'm essentially out of alignment with myself, and I'm out of alignment with my identity. And from a conscious level or subconscious level, it's really going to take a hit on my confidence because I'm not doing what I say I'm going to do. So really, really important that you're careful with your words and that you fulfill the promises that you make to yourself. I would say that is so important when it comes to confidence is just being true to yourself. And think about it like a friend. If you had a friend that constantly lied to you, constantly told you, "Hey, I'm going to be at the gym tomorrow. Hey, I'm going to be at your birthday party," and they didn't show up. And over time, you'd start to realize that, okay, this person they're just a liar. They're lying to me. I really can't trust anything they say. You probably wouldn't want to be around them. You probably wouldn't like that person a whole lot. And the same is true for ourselves when we lie to ourselves. And it's not something we can really think about or think about consciously. Like I said, it happens more on a subconscious level, but lying to yourself every day over and over and over again, it's really going to affect you mentally, affect your confidence, and affect your mental health. So personally, I try to be very careful with the promises I make to myself. I try not to over deliver, I guess, if you will, or make too many promises that I can't keep to myself, because ultimately that's going to help me or make me, feel bad about myself. And the promises that I do make to myself, I really want to try to keep those promises at all costs. That way I stay in alignment with myself. I stay congruent with my identity and my thoughts, my words, my actions. Everything's really lining up to be really exactly the way I want it to be. So there's lots of ways you can build self-trust, but one of the easiest ways is really just to kind of start small and start with a small list of things of, hey, this is something I'm going to do every single day, right? This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. And just sticking to those tasks on a consistent basis will start to build your self-confidence because you'll start to identify it as, hey, I'm a person that when I say I'm going to do something, I do it, right? Even if it's small things like I'm going to make my bed every single day, or I'm going to go to the gym every single day, or I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee, whatever it is, just having things in your life that are very consistent and you're really conscious of them and you're conscious of the fact that, hey, I said I was going to do this and I did it. And every time you do that, you get a little notch on the confidence scale, if you will, and you start to build a little more confidence, a little more confidence. And over time, these small, consistent actions can add up to be, really big momentum changes in your life, and really big impact on your self-confidence. So really just start small with a small list of things that you can do repetitively, you can do consistently without fail, and build from there. Once you get two or three habits down and you're feeling really confident about those habits, then add another task in, add another thing into your life that you're wanting to improve in some way, and slowly but surely just kind of start to design your life, start to design those habits, and you'll start to be more confident. Another way that I like to think about confidence is really it's just being good to myself, right? Whenever I'm not treating myself well, not taking care of myself, I'm not going to feel very confident. But the more I take care of myself, the better I treat myself, then the more confident I am. And that just simply, like I said, comes back to being congruent with who I am, doing what I say I'm going to do, and then practicing self-love. And as weird as it sounds, I used to think talking about stuff like that was very weird, very hippie-ish, or whatever you want to call it. But self-love is really, really important. If you don't love yourself, how can anyone else, love you back? And it's a corny cliche saying, but I think it's really, really true. And practicing self-love can help your confidence. And that's just checking in with yourself, forgiving yourself, and just reminding yourself of how great you are. And another big area where I see people make mistakes is just not giving themselves enough credit, especially when they have really good intentions. And if you can look inside your heart and go, okay, I have good intentions. I want to help other people. I want to do good. I don't mean anybody harm. You deserve credit for that, right? Even if you don't have the accomplishments that you want to have, or you're not where you're at in your life physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, what have you, don't let your accomplishments or your lack of accomplishments, really dictate your confidence. Look at who you are as a person and say, hey, I'm a good person, right? I'm a good person. I'm out there. I'm trying to do good things. I'm trying to help other people. I'm working hard. I'm doing the best I can. I may not be where I want to be just yet, but I'm really proud of who I am as a person because I know I'm a good person. And you deserve a lot of credit for that. Just being a good person and having good intentions in the world is really, really a big deal. And it should give you a lot of confidence, because there are people out there that they wish ill, they wish evil on other people, and they're trying to steal, they're trying to cut corners, they're trying to, take shortcuts, what have you. And, it may give them a little bit of success, short-term success, but long-term, that's never going to, lead to success, cutting corners, doing shortcuts, screwing people over, whatever it is. And if you're the kind of person that, hey, I really try to do things the right way, you should have a lot of confidence in yourself that, hey, at least at the end of the day, I'm a good person and I'm doing the best I can. I'm really trying my best, and you deserve credit for that. So another aspect of building confidence that I picked up a few years ago comes from a phrase called earned confidence. And simply put, what earned confidence is doing so many repetitions, putting in so much heart or so much work, so much blood, sweat, and tears into something that you have confidence in that particular ability or activity, because I've done this so many times that I know I'm good at it and I know I'm going to perform very, very well. So simply, simple way to build confidence is really through repetitions and doing the thing that you want to be confident in, doing it over and over and over and over again. And over time, you start to build this esteem, you start to build this confidence within yourself. And it's based off of sweat equity, right? I did so much work, I put so much into this. How can I not be successful at this? How can I not be good at this? I've put in the hours, I've put in the work, I've done the work that other people weren't willing to do. Therefore, I deserve the results that other people don't deserve, based on the fact that I did the work, I put in the sweat equity. So, another thing to think about confidence is is really your work ethic and your repetitions in whatever area in life that you're trying to build more confidence in. Just put more repetitions in, and simply over time, you're going to build confidence in that area. And obviously, you're going to improve. Practice doesn't make perfect, but practice does make progress. And ultimately, if you're making progress and you're headed in the right direction, you're going to get to your goal. You're going to get to your destination. It doesn't really matter how quickly you get there or how fast you're moving. What the most important part is direction, right? If that GPS is pointed in the wrong direction, you're going to end up not where you want to be. So focus on that. Focus on, where do I want to be? Am I moving in the right direction? Am I making progress? If I'm making progress, then I'm really happy with myself, right? At this moment in time in my life, I'm not exactly where I want to be. I don't think anybody is. I'm still working on building my confidence, still working on every single area of my life. But one of the things that gives me confidence in myself is I'm not stagnant. I'm not stuck in, well, this is just who I am. This is just how I'm going to be. This is whatever it is in whatever area in life. I'm not content. I have a saying that says, I'm always happy, never satisfied. And to me, what that really means is I'm always moving forward. I'm always trying to improve. I'm always trying to get better. And if you're a person that you're not happy with where you're at, that should actually give you confidence, because that means you haven't just settled into, okay, well, this is as far as I'm going to go in life. This is the best I'm going to be. And you've just kind of accepted defeat, if you will, and really just, kind of snuggled in where you're at. And if you're the kind of person that you're pressing forward, you're pushing forward, you're trying to get better, you're trying to improve yourself, that should give you a ton of self confidence, because you're at least working your butt off trying to move yourself in the right direction. And a lot of people aren't doing that. A lot of people are just content. This is who I am. This is how I am. There's nothing I can do about it. And I'm not going to put any work. I'm not going to put any blood, sweat, and tears into trying to become a better person or trying to build confidence, what have you. So, for me, that's another way that I really try to bolster my confidence is, hey, maybe I'm not where I want to be. Maybe I don't have the accomplishments that I want to have just yet. Maybe physically I'm not, in my ideal shape or where I want to be. Maybe I have room for improvement in my business or relationships, mental health, whatever it is. I know that there's improvement to be made, but I can always find confidence in myself, because I know, hey, at least I'm striving to get better. I'm pushing, moving in the right direction. And I give myself credit for that of, hey, you're trying, you're doing the work, and you're improving, you're getting better. You're not content with where you're at, and you're trying to push forward. I deserve credit for that. You deserve credit for that as well. That's another way that you can kind of tie in and help build your confidence. Okay. Another little tool in my tool belt, if you will, is something I call confidence anchors. And simply put, these are times in my life, things, accomplishments, letters, even text messages, things that can remind me of the past, of times that I've won or times that someone that I really care about send a thoughtful message to me, whatever it is. I have these confidence anchors, and I can look back at these anchors anytime I need to have confidence. If I'm having self doubt, if I'm in my feelings and feeling sorry for myself and having that self-doubt, I can always pull out those confidence anchors. For me, I have a little note section on my phone that says confidence anchors. It's all of, or a lot of my accomplishments. I even have like text messages from, like I said, people that I love, people that I care about, and they're sending me nice messages. They're telling me nice things about myself. I have reviews and testimonies that, customers and clients have left me on there. And what I do is I just go through that note, and I go through there and I read, okay, Randall, what does your mom say about you? What does your sister say about you? What does your girlfriend say about you? What does your customers say about you? What do your friends say about you? And I go through there and I read these text messages, I read these emails, I read these testimonials, I read all these accomplishments out, and I go, wow, I am an amazing person. I should be very confident. I should be very proud of myself. Look at what all these people said about me. Look at all these things I've accomplished. And most importantly, I am a good person, and I have good intent, and I'm out there trying to help people. Okay. Last but not least, for me personally, one of the ways that I have confidence is through my faith. And regardless if you're, like I said, a believer in God, Jesus, Buddha, whatever it is, I think you should be a believer in something because it does help you in this world. And for me, having my faith and belief in God gives me a ton of confidence because I have the belief that, for one, I was made in his image and made in his likeness, and he has good plans for me. He wants to help me. He wants to, help me prosper and make me successful. And the Bible says not to worry or stress about anything, but instead trust in the Lord with all your heart. So when I do feel down or do have that self doubt, I go back to my faith and I go, okay, well, what does God say about you? Well, God says that you're beautiful and perfect in every single way, and that He's got big plans for you, and plans for you to go out there and help other people, help grow the kingdom. So when I think about that, I go, okay, well, I'm a child of God. I'm special. I'm made in His image. There's nobody like me on earth. Why am I doubting myself? Why am I having this self doubt and all these negative feelings when that's not what the Bible says about me? That's not what my faith or my God says about me. And I need to quit thinking these thoughts. I don't know where these thoughts come from. They don't come from within me, they come from the outside world, right? Whether it's somebody on social media or something happened when you're a kid or a ex relationship. I mean, we just take on so much information from the outside, and we take that into us, and we think it's who we are, think it's what we are, and that's just not the truth, right? When you're born and when you're a child, you don't have negative self-talk. You don't have a lack of self-confidence. When you're a kid, you have all the confidence in the world. You'll walk up to anybody in the world and start talking to them. And you don't have any of those social pressures. You don't have any of those stigmas. You don't have any of those worrying about what people think about you. And as we go through life and people knock us down and people tell us we're not good enough and people say bad things about us, it starts to cling and it starts to attach to us and attach to our identity. And we start to believe that. We start to believe, well, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't have anything to offer, maybe whatever, right? And the truth is that these thoughts that are rolling around in your head, they're not your thoughts. They come from the outside world, and you want to try to eliminate them. You want to try to delete them, if you will, out of your mind, out of your vocabulary as much as possible. And it takes time. It really does take time to retrain your brain to think different thoughts and say different words. But if you try to be conscious of, okay, what are my words? What are my thoughts? What am I saying about myself? If you just try to be aware of those things, over time, you can start to manipulate your thoughts, manipulate your words to be more congruent with who you are or who you want to be. Okay. We all get negative thoughts almost every single day where you're going to have negative thoughts. They're going to creep into the back of your mind. And when they come into my mind, I try to, and I've said this before in other shows, but I try to think of my brain almost like a computer, right? And it puts information in, input, output, so on and so forth. So when those negative thoughts come to my mind, I literally say, delete that brain. I don't want that. That's not part of me. A lot of times I will actually speak it out loud. I will say out loud, brain, delete that, scratch that. I don't want that. That's not who I am. And then I reinforce it with, this is actually who I am. This is actually what I meant to say. This is what I meant to think. And over time, if you start to become aware of your thoughts, you start to become aware of your words, and you start to delete out all the bad stuff that you're saying about yourself, and you start to add in some positive stuff, some positive self-talk over time. Like I said, it doesn't happen overnight. But over time, it will make a big impact on your life. It'll make a big impact on your energy, your positivity, your self confidence. And what happens when you have energy, you have positivity, you have self confidence? Well, you start to succeed in all areas of life. It doesn't really matter if we're talking business, personal, relationships, physical, going to the gym. Like I said, it doesn't matter. If you have more confidence and you have more congruency, and you're more, like I said, dialed in with who you are and your identity, you're going to perform better in every single area. You're going to be happier, healthier, And overall, you're just going to live like I said, a lot more successful, happy life. So, those are generally the things that the tools that I use to help build self-confidence. And like I said, the only reason I feel comfortable teaching or talking about this topic is because it's something that I have to practice daily. And it's something that I've just had to work on a lot throughout my life. And I would say, just for the viewers, they kind of have a general understanding. If there's a confidence scale from 0 to 10, I would grade myself probably like a 6 or a 7, believe it or not. But the reason why I think that is because I started at probably a 1 or a 2, about as low as you can probably get on the self-confidence scale. And slowly but surely, I've been able to kind of build up my self-confidence by doing what I'm saying I'm going to do, right? Being very careful with my words and my thoughts, loving myself, taking care of myself. The healthier I eat, the more that I work out, the better I look physically, I'm going to have more confidence. Doing good things, doing acts of service, helping other people, doing volunteer work, giving my time, donating money, whatever it is. There's just a million things that I can list out on a sheet of paper that if I do these things, they help build my confidence. And over time, over the years, I've been able to build confidence through these exact same strategies that I'm sharing with you today. And obviously, I hope that these strategies can help you in your life and help you build confidence. So that is it, guys. We're wrapping up this week's episode. As always, I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. Your support, your comments, your shares, they really, really do mean a lot. And as always, I'm going to ask the viewers if you got anything at all from this podcast, if you learned something, if you were inspired at all, we were able to help you change your way of thinking and help maybe improve your life. All I ask is in return, you share this video, share this podcast. I can almost guarantee you there's somebody out there that is struggling with self-confidence. I think we all struggle with self-confidence, and you might be able to make a difference in their life just by sharing this video, sharing this information. So that's what I'm going to ask, guys. Like, subscribe, share. I sure appreciate it as always, and we'll look forward to seeing you on next week's show. Love you. Bye.
Whether you think you can or can't, just know you're right. Arrange your mindset and stand at different heights. Put all your energy on things you know are right. Yeah, we move the needle. From E to full, move the people. From move the